Hello, everybody! Welcome to episode 50 of Gaming Gone Weird. So blessed to be here. Hopefully everybody's doing great. Do me a favor before we lock in. Tell someone you love them because you never know what somebody is going through. Like I said, this is Gaming Gone Weird, the podcast where we talk about everything and all gaming with weird games involved in it. I am Nicktana. Hopefully everybody's doing great. And you guys already know, my man on the side, the great, the one and only Pikmin legend, Big Meat Pete. Pete! Hi. Oh, yes. Yes, it was coming out, buddy. Yes. Yes, sir. I couldn't think of a better name. I can't think of anything better than Big Meat Pete.
That's my new at. You can find me at Big Meat Pete. What's up?
Man, how you doing, brother?
Oh, man, I am excited for a number of reasons. Number one, going on vacation tomorrow. A well-earned vacation from work for about 12 days, so I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, do me a favor and don't set down the games, buddy, all right? That doesn't mean you get a vacation from video games. Okay.
I'm bringing the Switch.
I'm just letting you know, bro, like, this thing we got going on is a priority now. Like, we're not allowed to take a break from the video games, bro, so, like, I don't care if you pick up, like, a Tetris or an Animal Crossing or, like, a Stardew Valley, but you're going to be playing something during that nighttime, bro. We don't stop the grind. We don't stop any of this, okay? So
we're still honestly, my favorite thing as of late has been playing the Switch with a podcast in. So not even listening to the volume on the game, but just putting on like a long pod.
Isn't that great?
Switch.
I feel like that's like, I have a lot of favorite things in life. Dogs, the Atlanta Falcons on good days.
True.
And I think playing the game with something next to me or like kind of like I like doing both, or I love like listening to both, and kind of like how you said, listening to something in the background while playing something and grinding something. As long as you can pay attention to it. Single player games, like, I'm good because you got to kind of focus on the story and everything. But I mean, when it comes to like, okay, I'm grinding a few Madden solo challenges, which has kind of been my life lately, is like, okay, I'm gonna grind some Madden solo challenges. I'm gonna play people online. I don't need to be hearing the you know what I'm saying? So it's like I'd rather hear like the news. You know what I mean?
That's from Madden. That's from Madden. Oh, okay. I was like, I don't remember that in Pikmin, but yeah. So, yeah.
Like every time a Pikmin spawns, Olimar is like top quarterback.
Yeah, that's a QB1 in my league. Olimar.
Man.
Yeah. So excited for vacation.
Yeah. So I've heard
good games are coming out. Baldur's Gate. I'm like,
I was about to say,
Baldur's Deep in Baldur's Gate right now.
Yeah,
it's a good time. Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. That Baldur's Gate. I like that you're playing that Baldur's Gate. It's good, huh? It's good.
It's really good.
I know.
Really good. What about you?
Oh, dude.
I know you're sick. A little sick.
Yeah, guys. I'm coming off of a little cold, but I had to. Hey. I had to beat it up real quick. We back. That cold wasn't keeping me down. But you know what the worst thing about it was? I went through every day of work feeling okay, and then it hit Friday after work. It was GG's.
Really?
It was GG's on the couch. I didn't want to do nothing. I missed a Pokemon tournament I was supposed to go to. I was in bed all day Saturday, man. Sunday was like I had life a little bit, and I didn't even feel like I played the bare minimum of video games, but like. Yeah, just kind of coming out of a sickness, man. Just trying to get back on the roll. Back. Call me Butter. I'm trying to get back rolling. You know what I'm saying?
No, but what was the sickness? Was that? It was like a cold or something? Flu?
Yeah, it was just like a little cough. Okay. But you know what I'm saying? Just laying down and stuff. But we're back. Sure. We're ready. And as of today, I did pick up a new game. We are playing Sea of Stars. You guys don't know what Sea of Stars is. It's that JRPG game that just came out with has some very good reviews. And I got through the 2 hours of it, basically like the tutorial and a little bit of introducing all the characters and kind of explaining where we're getting into with the story. And I think this game has potential to be very, very, very good. I've liked everything so far. The characters, very great. The level up system is very cool. So like every time you gain a level, it gives you like 4 options on what you want to level up. You could either like add attack, defense, hit points, magic power, but you can kind of make your own build between the two characters the way you want to do it. And there's a third character. I don't know. I haven't leveled him up yet, but and then also the combat's very good. I like everything all around of it. And the one thing that did like really attract me to the game and like really show life was the art style of it. That very pixelated. It's very simple, but very, very good. It doesn't look like it's an older game just because of the pixel art, but like it also adds in like really good animations to that as well, to where it kind of like shows off that new age of gaming. So definitely a big fan of Sea of Stars so far.
It's turn-based, right?
Yes, it is turn-based.
Okay, cool.
While Peter's looking into that, I do want to say thank you to everybody here. Jerry's welcome. Cogain, welcome as well. Vexus, love to see everybody here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Pikmin football gonna go crazy. I call the red Pikmin team. That is my favorite. Hut. Man, thank you guys all for being here, man. If you guys do like this type of podcast, make sure you guys don't forget to subscribe. I will let you guys know earlier so you guys can catch all of the podcasts we do here. If you guys want to watch Gaming Gone Weird, we go live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern to talk about all those weird games and all the game news that you guys need for your guys' brain noggin. I'm going to go ahead and kick it off with the games that are coming out this week because, guys, we got some pretty good ones. We are getting into September, and September is going to be stacked. We're kind of rounding off the end of August and stuff like that, but like these next 2 months are going to be crucial for game releases. So make sure your wallets are stocked and you're good to go for these releases. Pete, you ready for me to name them off?
Go.
That was a little delay. I don't know if you were really ready. Guys, we got Crossfire that came out for the PlayStation VR 2. Goodbye Volcano High finally came out after a delay for the PS5, PS4, and PC. Samba de Amigo Party Central came out for the Switch August 29th. Sea of Stars, the game I was just talking about, came out for the PS5 and Xbox, which is on Game Pass, so it is for the Game Pass. Like, basically, we say free, but we do play. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a subscription, but, like, I guess we say it for free.
The value. The value's there, man.
Under the Waves came out. Somerville, Trine 5, and 30XX for the Switch. I have not heard of 30XX at all.
Kind of looks like Mega Man.
It does look a little bit like Mega Man. Kind of like a little... Any game you like really... Any game that you look like you're interested in getting?
Well, Sea of Stars, from what you mentioned.
Okay.
I'm kind of out on anything on the VR, man. Am I too old for VR?
Dude,
is
I just
it
don't
me?
think we're
Is it an
ready.
age thing?
I don't think we're ready for VR.
Really?
Anybody in here got a VR? Question of the day. Who has a VR and is it worth it? I forgot to put a question of the day.
I don't know, man. Like, okay, so Beat Saber was pretty cool.
Beat Saber is pretty sweet. You know what VR game is super sweet? You know the one with the monkeys and they're playing like the tag?
No.
You don't know what I'm talking about? Oh!
Monkey VR tag?
Dude, it's called something.
VR
Somebody
game,
back me up,
monkey
chat.
tag?
Back me up, chat. There's no way you don't know what that is.
Gorilla tag?
I think it's Gorilla Tag. Yeah, that game's tough, dude.
Is it?
Yes. Yes, I'm telling you. Dude, I just don't know, like, because, like, the only reason I would get a VR is to play the scary games. Like, if I want to be a VR, like, play the VR, I want to feel like I'm scared. Like, I want to feel like I'm there immersed getting scared. Like, I just don't see, like, any VR games, like, really. I'll just experience it in real life, I guess. Like, why do I need to experience it in a virtual game? But some of them do look fun. Like, I saw
Beat Saber was cool. Okay, I've also seen this guy on TikTok who does a VR football game. And that looks, he does it live on TikTok, and you come in and it's like the camera's way back and they hit the secondary camera is his game. And he's like bending down, taking snaps and like running backwards in his room. And then, like he's like throwing a lot, that looks cool. That looks cool. Some
of the VR stuff is cool, but it doesn't like dignify the price of like, okay, so getting the Oculus 2 or getting the PS VR 2, it's expensive for like, there's just not a lot of games or technology that's really like goes with it, I guess. Like, you have some things, but it doesn't like make me want to buy it. Like, I think the best games are just for the consoles itself, so I'd rather just stick to that.
I didn't realize it was so much. I just looked at the VR2 for PlayStation. It's $550.
Yeah.
It's like, why would I get that when I can get a Switch for $200 less?
And the same thing is like for the X, like what, like the next Xbox is gonna think they could release a VR headset to release Starfield VR.
Starfield VR.
Mm-hmm. Imagine, it's not real. Please do not look that up. It's not real. Like, I don't know.
I was definitely looking it up.
Yeah. That's why I was like, I'm gonna just stop you there, buddy. Like,
I was definitely looking it up.
Okay.
That's my bad.
I was like, okay, yeah. We also do want to give a big shout out to one of the fans that do watch this show on the regular time. If you are here, we do want to say happy birthday to one of our good friends that do watch the show.
I was about to say a Merry Christmas. A happy birthday to Tommy. Make sure to shout him out on Twitter. Go say what's up.
Can I get some happy birthday Tommies in the chat? Appreciate that. And then in other quick news before we get into anything, I do want to say rest in peace to the legend Bob Barker. He did die at a crazy age of 99.
It's a good run.
Right.
It's a very good run.
It's a good run. I mean, it's just crazy, dude. Like, watching him, like, I remember my great grandma when we were little, she would watch us and she would always turn it on and we would always watch it together. And just seeing him and just like dude's a legend. He was doing it for a very long time. And then him and
his microphone's this big. Remember how like big the microphone was?
Yeah.
He would hold it like for no reason at all. It was just like the length of his arm.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And then like he was in Happy Gilmore too. Like that was crazy.
Yeah.
Throwing punches.
Yeah.
It's like, this guy sucks. Just a legend.
So
Just a
good.
legend in
general. He's like a gem. He's one of those guys. If you ever heard anything like negative about him later in life, you'd be so sad. Like, oh man.
Oh yeah, you know that's like the one person. It's like, man, can we just like? I get it.
Can we not? Yeah.
Yeah. Can we not just? I didn't need to hear that about him. I didn't.
Right.
So. Oh man. So we got a lot of news for you guys this week, and a lot of the show is going to revolve around Starfield too. Because Starfield has been the talking point for the past few weeks and probably for the next few weeks in the future, just because it's one of the bigger games that is coming out. But the first thing we do want to kind of touch on is possibly a game series that you guys are going to want to keep an eye on, but it's not going to come out for a very long time. We're talking about Elder Scrolls 6 because it's finally out of pre-production. Have you played any Elder Scrolls games, Pete?
Of course. Of course I have. How offensive was that question?
Everybody probably has, right? You know what I'm saying? But like, I just know you've been playing a lot of like My Little Pony. You've also been playing a lot of like, you know, like Barbie and Bratz, the DS game. So I just kind of wanted to like, I didn't want to like.
What a shout out for Bratz.
Bratz? Remember Bratz?
Of course, BRTATZ.
Hey, just so you guys know, if you guys haven't fed your Nintendogs in a week, you guys are cruel, and you guys should probably check on them. Because
oh my gosh!
Before we touch on Elder Scrolls, I had Nintendogs, and I remember like when I was kind of grown. Not like grown, but I was like 13, and I was still thinking like, I'm like, bro, I gotta load it up at least one time. I gotta make sure I feed them. I don't want to be a bad dog parent. I'm sitting there feeding them, making sure I'm giving them baths. I'm spending time out of my day to make sure that these pups are still fed to this day.
Dude, I never had that game.
Bratz Forever Diamonds. That was the best one.
Oh, that's a game?
Yeah.
Forever Diamonds? What did you even do in it? Did you just design... Oh, Diamonds with a Z, too.
I thought you were the one who played. Anyway.
I'm on PS2? It's on sale right now for $35.
35. Hey Jimmy, we're gonna need a raise. We're gonna need to have to review Bratz.
I'm gonna be expensing some extra things in the next invoice. That's cool. We picked up Bratz Forever Diamonds for the PS2.
But yeah, guys, we are getting Elder Scrolls 6, even though it is a very long ways away. It was announced still. This is an article from PC Gamer. Basically saying that Starfield is so close you can almost feel it, the cold void clutching at your bones through the thin sheen of delicate spacesuit. It comes out September 1st for everyone who purchased it early, but anybody afterwards who just got it on Game Pass is going to come out for September 6th. But I mean, like with the hype of Starfield and everything, Elder Scrolls has really been that big game that everybody has played at least once. If it's been like a Skyrim or an Oblivion or Elder Scrolls Online.
Morrowind.
Yeah, Morrowind.
Everyone touched Morrowind at some point. Didn't Mo start like didn't she stream Morrowind for a little bit?
Yeah, she did.
That's awesome.
I honestly I started off with Skyrim.
Okay.
But I was around the time when Oblivion came out, and I know a lot of people were playing Oblivion, but I didn't really dive into that type of genre until I saw Skyrim come out.
Yeah. I'm excited. Do you actually know what pre-production means? Because I'm not sure that I even know what that means.
Pre-production is they have everything planned out basically, and they kind of have everything
like story
they kind of have everything aligned on what they actually want to do. It's more the fact that they're working on developing the game.
Got it.
They're in very, very early development. We're not going to get this game for like another like 5-6 years. If it's Xbox, it'll probably be like 8 years.
Dude, I can't wait when I turn, 40 and I boot up Elder Scrolls 6. I'm very excited for that day.
Exactly. Like you're just kind of just leaning back and you're reclining, your back's sore.
That's because my back is dead. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like we're just like we're booting because if it's coming out in like 6 years, that means it's gonna be out on another console too. So I don't know if that means they're going.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so like
we'll be on Gaming Gone Weird episode 750, something like that.
This is 755.
How old are you in 5 years?
How do you feel about Starfield 2 coming out? We're still talking about Assassin's Creed to this day.
Another Assassin's Creed release this week. That's the third one this year. Oh man.
It'd be a good week if we didn't have to talk about Assassin's Creed, honestly. The Nintendogs are forever. Nintendogs are forever. I need a Nintendogs for the Switch. Like, get working on it, honestly. Just give us prequel Young Scrolls. Scrolls just keep it real. Scrolls about drinking, slinging spells, and getting tail. I don't know if Tom Howard is looking forward to making a game like that, but all in all, like, what would you honestly, like, besides getting tail in Skyrim, what would you think would make a good Elder Scrolls 6 game? Like, what could they really add? I feel like they could add like a lot of the stuff from the other games too, and kind of like for like classes and stuff like that. Like, what makes a good Elder Scrolls game? Because I feel like a lot like people love to go back to say like Skyrim is one of the better ones. What made Skyrim that much better than all the other ones to where people won't even focus on the new Elder Scrolls stuff and Skyrim's like the main one? Is it like the time period? Is it just the way the game played? Like, because it's got to have some sort of formula to make this work. These games are just like, and we're seeing a trend from Xbox where they feel like this is their personality and this is like their identity. Like, because now we have Starfield. This game's going to be massive. And now you're thinking about Elder Scrolls 6 down the road. This game's going to be massive. They're just putting out these big RPG massive games, and this is kind of just what the main focus has been for them for a decent amount of time, it seems.
Yeah, I think part of what makes Elder Scrolls so good is choice. You come in the game and there's no one way to play it, and it's kind of like Grand Theft Auto 5. Like, there's just people are still making content after the game has been out for so long. Right. The mods are endless. Like, there's so much choice, and it's just like it's good because you can't say that it's boring for any reason. Like, you can't, you know what I mean? Like, there's just so much you can do. I also think that in a game where you can fight dragons is probably a bonus. A ton of customization. You have to make the class building super in depth, super robust. So I think they do a good job of that. I think the special powers and the like people really like that kind of like Viking feeling too. That's always like a popular, aesthetic. So they got that right. I mean, do you go back to a super fantasy type, the world that they've created, or do you focus on a kind of an existing aesthetic for the new game? I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. They just have so much name power now and recognition that it's going to be popular regardless. But I also think technology and the money is allowing them to make bigger and better games. So it's just going to get better over time.
That's the one thing I am happy for the Xbox team, with the help of all these, like, all the money that they're getting in now, and they're being able to get more support and more help to kind of send to their studios and make better games. I think this year has been relatively rough to them, because I think this is just like the first year where it's like we're kind of getting over the COVID stuff, and they're kind of seeing the hits of COVID when these games are coming out, because they're not fully ready. And you can kind of tell, but they haven't released games in a long time, and they felt so pressured to get these games out. Yeah. But they clearly need to send these money opportunities to these studios for them to be able to, like, make more of their games, if that makes sense. Because like they have it's right in front of them. They have all the possibilities in the world, and I think it's going to be better for their titles in the future. So I like that you did make that point. But I think, like how you said, like Elder Scrolls 6, I am excited. Just make sure, if you're going to do this, just make sure you space them out long enough, dude, because like this is just kind of a rough release for Starfield, because with Baldur's Gate just kind of coming out of the Windworks, and just that game being so good.
Yeah, they definitely want some space in between Baldur's Gate and Elder Scrolls.
The amount of people I've talked to, they're like, yeah, I put in 30 hours and I just finished Act 1. And it's like, that's the type of gamers that a lot of us are.
Dude, I'm 6 hours in or 7 hours in, and I'm in the very first town still. I've only had like 2 major combat situations. Because I'm just like, there's just so much to do, and you can talk to everyone, and you can explore everything, and like, I don't know. I mean, of course they need to focus on Starfield, so they want to make that last as long as possible. It's nice that they have the next one in the chamber already. So like when they decide, hey, we're kind of done with Starfield, they already have the next game to work on, which is nice. Which means that we should, in theory, be set up for many years to come already, which is sweet.
I'm excited. I will be making a Khajiit in Starfield Elder Scrolls 6 for sure.
That's wild.
Starfield 6. That did happen. If I see a release for Starfield 2 like 6 years down the road, more planets, like, yeah, I think that's when I call it quits. Pete, you want to go ahead and kick it off in the next topic? Our good old friends over at Activision making.
I love to take opportunities to pick on Call of Duty. I'll pick on it anytime. Just let me know. It's not hard, because they just keep doing things that makes it easy for me to talk about them.
Go ahead and read the article, man.
Yeah, so Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 will not include all the operators from Modern Warfare 2 in its multiplayer modes. So they have this feature called the Carryover feature, which is going to bring over most of your cosmetics, most of the operators, and whatever comes along with that, bundles, rewards from unlocking the game. But it's not going to bring over everything. My concern with this is that, are they going to include everything that you've purchased? So if you purchase a battle pass that has an operator in it, or some piece of content in it, and it doesn't carry over, like, as a consumer, am I mad about that? Like, shouldn't I be able to carry everything over? Now, I don't understand how difficult that is going to be. It's a brand new game. Things might not play the same. Hopefully they shouldn't, because it's being sold as a new game. Right. But if I've spent X dollars on especially cosmetic type stuff and it doesn't all come with me, I'm kind of upset. Like, I'm kind of mad.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bummer, but I'm also like not shocked at all that Activision is making that decision. It might be a technical thing, but part of me also thinks that it's a business decision. Like, hey, let's carry most of it over, but we also want them to be forced to buy new stuff when it comes to the next game. So
Right.
I don't know how easy that is for them to include that stuff. Maybe it'll come down later down the road, but I doubt it because it's an opportunity for them to re-earn some cash.
The first thing that kind of comes to me when I think about this title is more the fact that, like when I'm more a fact thinking of Warzone versus the actual Modern Warfare 3 title, because Warzone is the chance where you have to like basically show off some of those skins and stuff like that. And you can do it in like, honestly, the arena type shooter, like the regular multiplayer thing, but a lot of things that you could flex on is having those different type of operator skins because it's different than the basic ones that they give you. Look at games like Fortnite. Fortnite, like, swag is everything. It might not matter for like some games like Apex. I can see where it kind of matters, but not really, because cosmetics in that game, I mean, everybody's still like the same character. When it comes to like an operator, like if I bought the Nicki Minaj bundle, which God, why would I? Because it's like kind of mid. But I mean, nothing against her, bro. That's more on Activision. But at the same time, like, if I bought that, I'd want it to be able to go to the next Warzone. If that, like, because you know what I'm saying? Like, it's already a free to play game, and I don't want to have to keep on buying cosmetics every time they want to release a new Warzone and everything else. If anything, cosmetics should be able to bring up. I can understand if guns aren't, because there's sometimes like a new Call of Duty comes out and there's going to be new guns, new attachments, and they might not be so much balanced when it comes to the new game. But for Warzone in general, like Warzone should be free game, like honestly, because in the other Warzones, I'm pretty sure when I was playing them, they have backwards compatibility with weapons from previous games that you could use. And sometimes the previous weapons ended up becoming meta in Warzone. They're just like that much better.
Yeah.
So it makes you want to go back and have to grind that other Call of Duty to get sets of weapons to use in Warzone if that's like your battle royale of choice. So if you buy a bundle that has the skin, the camo, the gun blueprint, and all that, like, I would really want that to carry over. But is it like an absolute deal breaker? No, because I feel like people are gonna have to adapt in general, because it's more of like along the lines of saying, if I played Madden, I would want my 99 overall cards to transfer over to the new game, when obviously it's not ready for it.
Sure.
But I mean, I think it's a fresh start for some people too when it comes to like more of the blueprints. But for cosmetic reasons, I mean, just let the people have their skins. Like you said, hopefully it's just kind of like a technical reason to why they're not doing it. But if it's not, and it's just kind of like that greedy money thing,
it's got to be a little. It's got to be a little bit.
Yeah, because they are having some they're having some carryover options, but a lot of them aren't going to be. But like, it doesn't obligate you to want to have to spend $20 on a skin. Fortnite's a lot easier, because if you want to spend like $10-15 on a bundle, you'll have that for the future. Instead of like, okay, a new Call of Duty comes out every year, you're saying I only have this for a few months, and then it's like I better save up for the next one, or it doesn't want you to buy for the current game, because it's like, okay, the new game comes out in 4 months, why would I buy any cosmetics for this? So but I mean, I just talk about games. Obviously, I'm not a businessman. I'm a business man.
You're a businessman.
Jay-Z quote right there. But did you see in the article, though, they said they're releasing the biggest zombies map, yeah. I just Ain't that does seem kind of cool. Like, I can't think of the biggest zombie map. I thought in my head was the one from Black Ops 1. Do you remember that one where you had to like hop on the bus and like you would go to different parts of the town?
Yeah, I remember that one. And like you'd always end up leaving it.
Yeah, like
leaving your homies. Yeah.
What's your favorite zombies map?
Probably the very first one.
Like the World at War one, the basic one?
Yeah.
That's such a basic answer, bro.
Why?
That's such a booty map.
What?
Nobody likes the first map.
I do.
No,
I actually like the one.
Der Reese. Real ones know Der Reese, bro. Der Reese was the best zombies map of all time.
Der Reese zombies map.
Der Reese, bro. Wonder Waffle. I think that's when the Wonder Waffle got released.
Dude, there's so many. There's so many maps.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them for sure.
Oh my gosh!
You know what I really thought about? I think if you download Black Ops 3, you could get like modded zombie maps. We should look into it. That would be like a super fun night.
Yes. First of all, I didn't know that there were this many. Also, I didn't play a lot of zombies, so that's probably the only one I ever played. Well, that's not true because I also played the. Man, I started playing the zombies map where you could start doing traps. Let me try to find it. Let me find the Reese map pack 3. Is it
mods on Xbox? I think it's on PC. I don't know, but like I know you can play the older Call of Duties on Xbox now, but I think the mods are on PC because I think you can just download them with Steam or something.
This might be the map that I'm thinking. Yeah, this is the map.
Which one?
Der Reese is the map I was describing.
Oh, Der Reese is
is the best. Okay,
that's
the one. That's the one I played a lot.
Der Reese is really good, and then dude, I might be thinking of Black Ops 2. Nah, bro, it was like the one with the theater. Man, that one was really good too. I'm bad with zombie names.
I'm just not like a big fan of Call of Duty Zombies. I said it. I thought World of War multiplayer was.
Yeah, you could have kept that one in the drafts, buddy.
Sick.
Could have kept that. Could drop that one in the drafts. So.
What'd you say?
You could have kept that one in the drafts. Someone needs to lock you up, like our homie got locked up for selling and leaking Starfield. They got him. Starfield Leaker booked on felony charge after allegedly trying to sell stolen copies of Starfield.
67 to be precise.
67 copies of Starfield. Man got caught.
Different versions too.
Right. Dude, look at his. If you guys need, he's got it. From Just Dance to Starfield Constellations to Uncharted.
That's Just Dance 2021, by the way.
Yeah, to the 10-pack of the Ed Hardys. Like, what are we? Pete. What are we doing here, man? I'm going to go ahead and get into this, man. The saga of a now infamous Starfield leaker has ended up with a 29-year-old man booked on a felony charge after allegedly trying to sell stolen copies of the game online prior to its September 1st release date. Darren Harris was processed by the Shelby County, Tennessee Sheriff's Office on August 24th, roughly 4 days after he originally posted the first 45 minutes of Starfield's online. The information on the sheriff's office website lists a felony charge for $2,500 to $10,000 worth of stolen property, a misdemeanor charge for $1,000 or less of stolen property, and a misdemeanor charge for possession of marijuana. Is it a little okay? Hear me out. My man was just trying to show him how bad Starfield was. Can we get our man some
bad as in bad or bad as in good?
Bad as in bad.
Do you think it's going to be bad? I don't think it's going to be bad.
I don't think it's going to be that bad, but we could touch on that. How do you feel about my man? How do you feel about my man, Mr. Harris, dude? Like, what's are you feeling tough for him? Like, do you feel
I think it's a bold move to commit a crime and then record all of it and then talk about it and then post it.
It is very
I think that's bold. A bold move. I love the confidence. But I don't like the execution.
Do you know the clout he got from this though? His clout probably went up like $1 million.
His clout cost him like $10,000 in bail. So that's the cost.
He made that based on just Constellation sellings, bro. What are you talking about?
Did he sell it though?
Bro, he sold, it looks like he sold a double pack. He sold like a bunch of double packs, bro. The double packs were hot. The double packs were selling hot, man.
It's crazy he hasn't sold Just Dance 2021 yet, though.
Dude, nobody wants that. Nobody wants that.
Or the 10-pack Ed Hardy show. I would be so interested to look back at how many games get released and how many copies get stolen. Because
right.
I'm thinking of like back when everything was a hard disk.
Yeah.
And you know that some guy in the middle of nowhere, Kentucky, got a pallet of Halo 2 on release date and just said, hey, there was only 7 pallets, not 8 pallets, like also on paper, and just, you know what I mean? Because everything was a hard disk.
It seems so much common more. Remember the story about the Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, where the kids were working at Amazon and they worked at Amazon just to steal copies of the game and to play them, and then his mom ratted him out. Like, this is becoming like more and more common just for people to play the game like a few days earlier.
Crazy.
And like think of like the people that like it seems like it's cool to be friends with a GameStop employee now. Yeah. Just to get the games, like, because they have them in the back. They have them in the back.
Dude,
he had a homie at GameStop that he was just like, "Hey, bro, I'm gonna need some of these." Because 67 copies is a lot.
That's a lot. Especially the Constellation Edition, the big, like the giant packs. Yeah,
right. That dude was on a different motive though, man. Like this. He also posted the 45 minutes of gameplay, which I'm going to get into the story a little bit deeper because we have more stuff we're talking about Starfield, but a lot of people that are posting the Starfield stuff, it is getting taken down like very, very quickly.
Can't find it.
No, you can't find anything. He did stream 45 minutes of it, and that stuff got taken down like and claimed by ZeniMax. So, and then also some stuff that we're going to further talk about with this boundary reach stuff, but yeah, man, just don't. We just can't be this stupid. We can't be this stupid. The 60-second clip that he posted, for like after all this was all said and done, had 1 million views.
Dude,
he said in quotes, "Todd, no offense, man, that's a good game." He said, referencing Starfield, "They're saying I play like a beginner because I'm not a game expert. I was just trying something out. That's a good game. Y'all don't want to miss it." He, even after they put him in jail, he said, "Yo, that game's tough."
He's like, I'm trying to picture and be like, it was totally worth it. Like, I can't wait to hop back in as soon as I get out of jail for stealing it.
He's like, shit, I'm gonna actually wait for the game to come out now, but like now that it's out,
I got a court order that I have to wait for it to come out to play it.
Starfield Game Pass, day 1. Put up one in the chat if you're playing Starfield, day 1, baby. Let me know.
Crazy. That's crazy, man.
If I'm stealing from any company, it's going to be Nintendo. You're going to be locked up quicker than my boy Mr. Harris, because cops would feel like the best option. No,
you're not getting out.
Bro. Dude, Nintendo has
does
that.
Not mess around.
No, Nintendo is like the definition of not playing around. Keeping it still going with the Starfield situation. I am also sorry for this too, because I wasn't able to get the actual footage of this topic in general, but there's been a lot of controversy going on with Starfield because one person who did stream the game and was talking about the game also released leaked footage of him exploring a desert planet, walking in the same direction for 11 minutes, and then a menu popping up at the screen after he walked for 11 minutes, and it said, "Boundaries reached. Would you like to go back to your home base or fly to another planet?" And the reason that this is getting so much controversy is that Todd Howard basically said, he's like, this is a game that you're going to be able to explore planets to their fullest, no limits, no boundaries, all this type of stuff, man. And now it just feels like a big lie. And now it just seems like we're all questioning this accusation in general. The thing is this is a rumor though. But how did you feel when this got announced? Did you have like any type of like feeling that this was just kind of like an overreaction? Like, do you just feel like people are overreacting about Starfield? Let's just get into that.
Just Starfield in general?
Do you
like
think,
what the expectations
do you think
are?
the internet is blowing this Starfield situation out of the water when it comes to how bad it's going to be, how great it's going to be? Like, do you just think, like, I've never seen a game talked about like on this much a level of hype?
Yeah, I think people like seeing people fail, right? And it's the internet, so by default, it's already just kind of nonsense. I think if you go into any game and you walk 10 minutes in one direction without anything stopping, I think that's a huge win. When you said it was a rumor, you're saying that the person who did this is like what was the rumor part?
It's not a rumor to where like that's okay. If you do that and that message does pop up, you can still explore the planet. It's just a little cutscene happens, and then you could go back to the planet and then redo everything.
Also, the game's not out yet, so like, can you give them a second to release it first, and then like
the game is out to very few people. I think tomorrow, dude. Tomorrow, guys. All you're gonna see on Twitter. Well, I know all I'm gonna see on Twitter is going to be a lot of Starfield reviews because the embargo is lifted on the 31st. So the game comes out the 1st, embargo comes off the 31st. So we're going to be seeing a lot of Starfield on Thursday, Friday, and to say the least. But yeah.
It's going to be fun. Everyone relax. If they're going to make claims like that, and they said, especially coming from the developers, let's give them a chance to follow through on it a little bit.
Right. So it says, as reported by Kotaku, streamer Darius Fears tweeted, to deny the boundary reach message is a persistent issue. In quote, you guys probably already saw the screenshot flying around and people saying, in quotes, you can't explore planets, Bethesda lied. Guys, there is nothing stopping you from exploring the planet. It just may be a loading screen, or you may have to land at the next spot. In parentheses, a short loading or cutscene to continue exploring the same planet. So again, this game,
maybe we don't understand. Maybe we don't understand what it means yet. I think some people are sitting there thinking, okay, that if I just leave my controller with the joystick forward and I come back after my 8-hour shift, I'm still going to be exploring the planet. Do you really think that's going to happen? Because I don't. It could mean like you can walk for a certain radius, and then when you hit the edge, it goes, hey, you'll need to land like this is your circle of exploration, right? And you hit the edge. That may mean you need to get out of your ship and fly it and land it here. And now this is your new circle of exploration.
That's what I'm saying. And even Raph said in the chat, he said you get a 10-minute walking radius around your landing zone. That's pretty massive. That's
huge.
How many times have you ever walked in the same direction for like 10 minutes, just straight forward?
In a game? Never.
Wrapping around like that. Like, dude, when you're thinking of a planet, you're thinking of like, you want to walk in like a bunch of random directions because there might be some materials over here. There might be a ship over here. There might be grilled cheese sandwiches over here. Pirates over there. You want to explore like every little direction instead of just going straight into one direction.
Right.
No singing. Like the band, baby, you light up. The point is, these allegations, bro, like for how much I'm kind of uncertain about Starfield 2, because I think the game will be great, but I also have fear that it's not going to be that great. I think it's going to have its problems. I think people are bringing this game down in bad faith
already
as well.
But to be fair, they've been duped before. So
yes,
Redfall, Gollum.
And I'm guessing we're probably going to get a lot of explanation when the embargo lifts tomorrow. Like I said, I couldn't show the video just because everything has been deleted, but I kind of just have the fact that Starfield and just like the way Xbox is kind of talking about this game, and they're like releasing merch and all this stuff for it. Like I think they think they have a winner here, so I'm just letting them do their thing.
Give it a second. Let it come out. There's going to be problems. Everybody knows it. You're going to there's already going to be clips online and short clips. They're like, man, Starfield's such a great game. And then it's going to be some glitch that happens, right? Like, give it a second. Let it breathe. We've talked about this before where people go day one, like game's trash. You're like, how about just give it 2 months. Let them work it out because it's inevitable. There's going to be problems. There just is. Just
especially
chill.
with Bethesda. Bethesda is known. Bugthesda is known.
Well, it's a big game, man. Like it's. Of course, there's going to be problems. Assume that there's going to be problems.
Yes, always assume. Yeah, man. I feel you on it. I definitely do. I definitely will be playing. I think you should play too. I think everybody should definitely give it a chance, too. So, um, yeah,
Especially
but
with Game Pass.
right,
It's on Game Pass. Yeah.
yeah. And to kind of lead into our final topic for the day, I also want to bring that into play because if you guys don't know that Xbox is getting rid of their $1 Game Pass monthly trial from here to the future when Starfield gets released. And I kind of wanted to talk about this because I think Xbox is starting to get a little bit of greedy when it comes to this Game Pass stuff. Because now that they think that Starfield is going to be an absolute winner, they think they're going to charge extra for the Game Pass. And the kind of free trials are kind of slowly drifting away. How do you feel about that? Do you think this is just a smart business move? Do you think they're being a little too greedy? Like, how do you feel in general? Because it's kind of hard to leave emotions out of this when you're a consumer. Like, I definitely see why they're doing it, and I definitely think it was like it was gonna happen eventually. But what makes it feel like they can do it when Starfield comes out?
Because they've been developing this game for 8 years.
Yeah.
They're trying to make some money back.
Dude,
it's been a very expensive venture.
That was just like the best deal that you could possibly do.
Yes.
When it I remember people were literally living off of $1 Game Pass trials.
Yeah.
Like,
it's amazing. That's an amazing deal. But it's time to recoup the cash and it's time to show up. And they said, hey, we'll get everyone hooked on it. And now we got this. We got to get our money back, basically.
Mm-hmm. So. Because we talked about it a few episodes before that they're getting rid of Xbox Live Gold. Now it's just Xbox Game Pass Core, which now the only thing you have to get, like, Live is just into Game Pass, and you have to pay like, what is it? I think $15 a month or something weird.
Yeah, I think that's the base level.
There's no more like Xbox Live with Gold anymore. There's no more Gold with games. They're basically just saying like, look, it's Game Pass or nothing. They're basically saying if you're going to have the Xbox, you're going to have Game Pass. And they're just going to shove that Game Pass right down your throat, man. Right down it.
Yeah, it's a business move. As Xbox grows and acquires many, many companies, like I just see like our options kind of dwindling a little bit, which concerns me. And we've talked about that too. So I almost like want Sony to have a resurgence because right now it just doesn't feel. It doesn't feel well. At least in North America, I don't know what it's like in Asia.
Sony made a
Europe.
Very bad move because Sony actually just raised the price of their yearly thing now
Did
too.
they?
Their PlayStation Plus, yeah, it's $75 a year now.
Yeah,
it's getting tough out here, man.
Dude, is gaming too expensive?
Dude, gaming has to be one of the most expensive hobbies ever.
Is it too expensive now? Like, are we entering a time where it's not cheap to game anymore? Like, is it too? Do you think it's too much?
No, because I know Raph and Cap and Vexus and all them, they spend money in Madden, so I think they're good. When you got big ballers in the chat, like people who watch Gaming Gone Weird, and they just spend money on the Madden packs, it's not too expensive. But when it comes to just like people like me, the single player guru, it can be. But I think, but it goes back to like praising the Game Pass, because I think Game Pass gives people an option to where you're a little tight on money, but you love gaming. The Game Pass offers you hundreds of games for a monthly price. If you were to sit there and just like play games over and over and over again, just with the Game Pass, you have so many options and so many great games to where you have like infinite possibilities, from like very old titles to all the Fallout games to like eventually all the Call of Duty games to all that stuff, bro. So like, I don't think gaming it gets too expensive, but I think Xbox is trying to get their money's worth out of this now.
Yeah, they're trying. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Trying to recoup and
they're basically saying you don't need a trial to have to figure out that Game Pass is that. You know what I'm saying? That is very good, because a lot of people were like, I don't know, what do they have? And it's like, oh, you're gonna know what we have, because if you're gonna try and play Starfield for the first little bit, then you're gonna have to pay the full price for it. So
yeah,
I get it. I get it, but I hope for Xbox's sake that like that Starfield is that game. If it's that for them, bro, like I want it to be. Xbox needs to come back in this race, dude. They need to.
Let me ask you this: what are your big 3 concerns for this game coming out? So like, what do you it's going to come out and they say it's done or mostly done. Like, but what are your biggest concerns for the release that you could see happening in a negative way?
In a negative way.
Yeah.
First thing right off the bat, which a lot of people may think I'm crazy or just might disagree in, is like I think the FPS obviously is a big problem for me. 30 frames per second, especially if you just have an Xbox Series X or S. But it's just proving that these consoles aren't strong enough to run these type of games. So right off the rip, if it's dropping from 30 to 20, if it's not staying at like a consistent 30 where we need it to be, that's a big red flag, like right off the rip for me. Also, I kind of think of just like the exploring of the planets thing. If I step on a planet and there might not be nothing there, it's basically like there's no life. There might not be like many minerals or resources to mine. It's just a big gas rock. That would kind of turn me off in general, but they're kind of going for more that like realistic, like this is what space is sometimes.
There could be.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Space, they said that too. They're like, space, bro, like not every planet is gonna have a living life form on it. It's gonna just have nothing. It might just be like zero gravity gas and stuff like that.
I don't mind that. I sorry to interrupt, but like to tack on to that, I'm sure people will be like, you said there's 1,000 planets and like 250 of them or nothing. I'm sure that video's coming, but it's just like part of the experience, I guess. Like you can't expect them to populate 1,000 planets with compelling content.
Right. I know it kind of goes on saying that obviously the people who are making this game, but it reminds me a lot of like just a space Fallout. But
good or bad?
Like,
is that a good or bad?
I think Starfield needs to have its own personality instead of looking like Fallout in space. But that was more of just like the character creation, like the companions in a way. Yeah. But I get who's making the game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not blind to the fact who makes the game and who also worked on Fallout. Like, come on. Like, obviously there's a thing to that. But I think that's just like mainly it for me, bro. Like, I just want the game to run smooth. I don't have any problems with the way I saw gameplay, because this game, you could do whatever you want. It's what you make it. And I think for people that have very big imaginations and very big ideas, this is going to be your dream game. As long as it can perform. That's it. Just perform. Just run good, because Redfall was a game that was supposed to run really good and it just straight out didn't. And that
bad game though.
What?
Bad game on top of not running well. Just not a good game.
It had the potential to be really good though. I felt like, I don't know if I was just like, maybe my hopes were just super high for Redfall, but I generally thought in my head that Redfall was going to be like one of those hit games, because it's like, it adds what really is really good about Far Cry, and it adds in like an art style that I thought I would really like. And like the vampire aspect of it was very cool to me. I really liked the weapons. I did really enjoy it. The gameplay just sucked. It's just unplayable. And like honestly, the story was just uninteresting to it. It had no story, no gameplay, and it was like, this is what you were hyping up for years.
All right.
Years, bro. Like, man, like, it just sucks. Just sucked all around, man. But
what's your have a chance? Do you get a chance?
What's your biggest concerns with Starfield right now? You got 1, 2, 3?
I don't like when a game is, or really anything, is promoted and built up so hard. Mm-hmm. Like it just concerns me right off the rip. I like games like, do you remember when Apex Legends was released? Mm. There was zero marketing. It was just like a tweet that says, "Hey, Apex Legends is live."
It randomly dropped one day, and then we saw like Ninja play it.
No, nothing, no intro, no marketing, no. It just said, oh hey, we built this game. It's live now. You can play it for free, and that was it. There was like no, and they just in like all of the resources, it just made a quality game, and then they just said, hey, it's on the market, go for it. That was it. And then this is the opposite, which is like just years and years of promotion and build up and drama. It's like we're watching some major world event happen. That always concerns me because all we do is sit here and we just like build up our hopes and expectations and then play the game. And then it's like you're almost set up to fail with your expectations, right? Like it's
right.
You're expecting the world and then they give it to you. And like versus if they had just released it, you know, or said, hey, this is going to come out in 6 months, we're going to put it out. And there's not all this time to build it up and build it up and build it up. And then your expectations would be a little bit lower. So then you could exceed them a lot better. Right now, everyone's expectations are at 110%. So if you like the game 80%, that's still pretty good, but you'll see it as a loss.
It's under exceeding in your eyes because this game is literally like, if this game doesn't get a 90 or higher, then it's a fail for Xbox.
Yeah.
Play it simple. Like,
yeah. I was going to say Zelda's proven. Right. That's a proven brand. Every time Madden comes out, everyone gets, expectations are high, but it's a proven brand.
This is why I don't like you, man. Like, leave my game out of it.
Elder Scrolls is a proven brand.
Out of it, bro.
Pokemon is a proven brand. It's proven.
No, not after the last Pokemon. Not after the last Pokemon. We can relax. The only thing that Pokemon did for me was carry my friends in raids. That's all it did.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, they're taking a big swing and you're like, it's going to be it versus, this is episode 7 of Starfield. It's already good. And he said, here's where we're at. You don't have to sell it as much right now. They're overselling it because they have to, because they put a ton of money into it.
That's true.
That's what concerns me. That's what makes me worried.
And I think I probably said it, but like to kind of like round up the topic and to round up the pod, I think just the consoles in general, they have to do a better time. Like, we're already talking about the next generation of consoles, but dude, this Series S, it just cannot run a game like Starfield. I'd have to get this game for an X or PC if your PC can run it. But I mean, the console's cheap for a reason, bro. Like, it's not running a game like Starfield at the specs you want it to. And that's just that's the truth. They need a console that's going to better run these games to make sure they run at 60 frames. They make sure you get your resolutions that you want it to, and to kind of get that quality and that fidelity. You want your games to look good, man. Like, I hope they can do that with the next console, because after seeing Redfall the way it looked on there, and now seeing like what possibly Starfield can and some of the other games that I played on my Series S, if it's not like downgraded to a lower resolution, it just looks bad and it just runs super choppy. So that's my worries with it, but
we'll see. The thing is, my last kind of thought about it, the expectations are extremely high, so I wouldn't want people to, if it meets your expectations, it shouldn't be seen as a failure. And that's my concern. So if you're like, man, this game's really good, but the trap is like, but it could have been better. You're like,
right.
Actually, the game's really good, and there is no but. You're like, but it's good, but it could have been, and then you don't like it, and that's where you lose. And that's
I hope I could just explore with my friends too. I really do. I really hope there's something. If there's not something, I feel like that's a big loss. I should be able to explore something with my friends. I should be able to take you and I to go on the same ship and explore the same world.
On the same planet.
Planet.
Really cool.
Well, Pete, episode 50, buddy.
50.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Happy episode 50 to Gaming Gone Weird, guys. Thank you guys all for being here, man. Me and Pete kind of looked at this episode as kind of a big deal for us, man. Me and Pete have been kind of doing this podcast. I don't know exactly when I took it over Gaming Gone Weird, guys, but I think I've been consistent. We've been consistent on here for a good 20, maybe 20 plus episodes. Weekly, guys. I don't like to sit here and toot my own horn, bro, but that's kind of a big deal for us, to sit here and every week put out a podcast for you guys, 20 weeks, staying consistent, giving you guys all the content, bro. It's a big deal to me and Pete, man. We take a big pride into our craft when it comes to this podcast and the things that we put in. And honestly, we're just so grateful to be here. And we're honestly just thank you so much for everybody that's all here and that all supporting us on this journey, man. But I think the next goal for us is making it to 100. And I want you guys to be on that journey. So thank you guys for being here for episode 50. And Pete, go ahead and sign off and tell the people what you're going to be working on your personal side of things. Go.
Yep. Not Ghost Stories and Ghost Stories Gaming's on all things socials. I'm taking a much needed vacation from content and work starting tomorrow until September 12th. But the games we'll be playing, we're going to keep the Let's Play Baldur's Gate series. First 3 episodes are on YouTube. It should, if you want to actually watch all the way through, it's about 6 hours or so far. That might take me a full year to get through. That game's awesome. Otherwise, making fantasy football content on Ghost Fantasy Football on all things socials. Doing the ball back pod with Tommy, which is all things NFL. That's on YouTube as well. And just continuing the content, man, on all the platforms. Switch streaming to YouTube, by the way. So that's why I haven't been on Twitch in a while.
Make sure you guys check him out at Not Ghost Stories. They're on Twitter and all of his other socials on YouTube. Guys, my name is Nicktana. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm a game reviewer, like game critiquist, journalist in a way. I love talking about everything in all gaming. So if you guys want to check out more of that, you guys can follow me on Twitter. Check out the YouTube at You Love Nicktana. We did put out 2 reviews for Bayonetta 3, a good review and a bad review, but I take a lot of pride in those reviews. So make sure you guys check that out. Right now we are working of Sea of Stars, a game that I'm kind of excited to really get into and take a break from Bayonetta 1. I kind of put Bayonetta 1 back on the shelf, but we are going to work on Sea of Stars. Also, if you catch me in your Madden games, please take it easy on me. I'm bad at the game, but I've also been playing that as well competitively. True. Yeah, very true. And, just living life to the fullest, man. So, yes, thank you guys for everything. This has been another successful episode of Gaming Gone Weird, the podcast about everything gaming and weird games. So this has been Nicktana, Big Meat Pete, signing off. Be safe. See you guys next week at 8 p.m.